Hello, I'm QnA, and this is QnA Saturday, the weekly series I run on my channel. I answer your questions that have been asked over the past week or so, usually about the next Minecraft console update, but also just about other Minecraft things and life and the world in general. I think it's a good opportunity to get some dialogue between the subscribers who are leaving comments, or in some cases, responses to the tweet that I put out once a week, and there's a good opportunity for me to respond to a lot of what you're saying, and I think it's a good back and forth. Hopefully all of you do agree. If you do like the QnA Saturday idea, like and let me know because it helps out the channel, and let's know you do like this weekly Q&A where I go back and forth and answer some of your questions. So let's go straight into the first one here, which is from Pro Ranger, who says, also in my opinion, Bedrock was only good for the PE. It had no positives for any of the legacy console players and released too prematurely. So the simple answer to this question is yeah, I think that's that's the dominant opinion, and that's for good reason too, because a lot of the things that happened in this update were kind of downgrades for console players. However, I really think the problem was that they were in the mood where they're like, you know what, our version's so great, we'll release it on your platform, and there's like 10, I really put it down to like, oh yeah, there's 10 new features that you get and you lose out on 5, let's put it in that simple terms. And even though that sounds like, oh yeah, that's a big upgrade, truth be told, most people are focusing on the 5 things they lost, because it sucks way more to lose something than it's awesome to gain something. And even though commands are great fun, I've been playing them all week, and even though servers add this like extra layer to the game, you're seeing in the background, I've been playing survival games on servers. It's like almost as good as mini games sometimes. I think most people are just thinking about the things they're missing way more than the things they just gained, and that is the big problem. I don't think they foresaw, and I think anyone could have foresaw, but maybe there are business reasons that are preventing it. However, I do want to disagree with the core part of your statement, which is the fact that Bedrock was only good for PE. I feel like this wasn't necessarily good for PE players either. So like, I feel like this is a all-round like not great period for everyone, because for Pocket Edition players, one of the big features in this update, which took months to complete by the way, was the ability for crossplay and was the introduction of the Xbox One edition. However, if you're a Pocket Edition player, if you're playing on your Android phone, you probably don't care that it just released on the Xbox One, unless you happen to have Xbox friends that you can now play with. You probably just think, oh, so they spent all this time developing for a console, which I don't have, and it basically, I feel like it wasn't necessarily great for the PE players. A lot of people are like pulling it like, it's a PE versus, Xbox war, but truth be told, we're all in the same boat together now, and it's not like, there's like one people who did something wrong, and like, basically, it wasn't good or bad for anyone. There was a lot of good and a lot of bad, and most people focus on the bad because that's how the human brain works. So yeah, let's move on to the second question though, which comes in from Benjamin Harris, who says, QnA Toycat, this is like the third time you've mentioned that you couldn't take Spanish. Why? So I wanted to quickly address this because I thought I'd told the story, but I keep mentioning like, oh, so I couldn't take Spanish as a GCSE, because people are always asking about like GCSE options and stuff. Basically, the reason I couldn't is because I wasn't really ever good at Spanish. It's funny, in that lesson of school, like everyone in the class, literally besides me, had this weird kind of like bond to it. It was like this, so it was very like ghetto school, I think is the easiest word to put it, like, like rough area of town and stuff like that. And basically like everyone else seemed to like bond and, become the best of friends, but like besides like me and like 2 other people. So I just slept in the front of the class while everyone else like did their whole thing, because I couldn't deal with the way everyone was like, oh, look how best friends we are as a Spanish class, even though it was like the sort of best friends where it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna burn some stuff and whatnot in the class. It was terrible. Basically my Spanish class I did take the year before that, and then when I tried to take Spanish afterwards, the teacher just like, literally I put it down my option and it was signed up, I was in the class, and then somehow a teacher saw it, like she came and found me, I don't know how, like just while I was in some random break, and she's like, Andrew, you shouldn't take Spanish, you really shouldn't. Like she showed me some form of shit and she's like, you don't want to do this. And I don't know why she was so against me taking Spanish, but then like I was like, it's cool, and then I just didn't do anything about it. I showed up to class and like just immediately she looks at me and goes, no, and like basically gives me permission to not do anything in her lesson. And honestly, maybe if I tried in the lesson like hard enough, she would have been like, well, clearly you do have the Spanish skills. But I was like, wait, I don't have to do anything in this lesson. So I slept for the first like 5 Spanish lessons, and then I had to get something switched out, and because the way they like organize the lesson slots, it had to be history or something like that. So there you go, fun fact, that's why I couldn't take Spanish, because the teacher just decided that I wasn't good enough and she wanted to get like her average grade up. So she was like, well, if I just kick out the guy who sleeps a lot, then yeah, problem solved. And as it turns out, I was complicit in that. So there's the story. It's not like the greatest one, it's just like a generic school thing. But yeah, I hate my Spanish class. If you're if you're watching this and you're in Toycat Spanish class in like 2012 or whatever, I don't think I like you. Sorry about that. Anyway, that's it. Let's move to the third question, which comes in from QnA, who says, Toycat, in your 5 future features mentioned by Notch video, you said that you might build Fortress mode. Will you ever do that? And if you, I think it would be really cool. Oh, and Q&A, I guess. So yeah, as you can see, officially a question because he says Q&A at the end there. But no, will I ever make the Fortress mode? I really love the idea of Fortress mode. Like when I first read about it back in like 2012, I was like, I'm so excited for this to come out to console ever. And realistically, Fortress mode is never coming as an official thing. Notch isn't in charge of the game, and it's been 8 years, so even if he was, it wouldn't be here by now. So I either have to build it myself or like pray that some server or some mini game on console comes out of it. So yeah, that means realistically I have to build it if I want to do it. And I did do like a miniature version where I showed off how it could work, and I really love the idea of like 2 huge fortresses. But I feel like there's, you know, it's going to be a really tricky game mode to balance, because you have to give people just the right amount of stuff to build their fortress. You have to make sure the beds work just correctly, and I feel like it would be more like a modded version of Bed Wars, like Fortress Bed Wars or something. So I'd really like to do it, and I think I might do it if enough of you want to watch, you know, me making a minigame map lives and streams. But again, that sort of stuff, like, I don't know if like people want to see the stream, and if I commit to doing the stream, then I have to commit to doing probably like a couple. So yeah, the simple answer is like, I'd like to build it. I'll build it on stream if enough you want to see it, but I don't know how to like gauge if enough you do want to see like building fortress mode, because I think that'd be a great mode to play against subscribers, because I really miss the days of like playing those mini Skywars maps against subs, and I feel like fortress mode would be a cool way to bring that back. Let me know what you think. But yeah, that's the third question. Let's move on to the fourth one, shall we, which comes in from Agent Spookstorm, who says, in your opinion, what is the biggest improvement to Bedrock Edition that could be made? So if I was in charge of making the Bedrock Edition better, and honestly that's a really tough job to have right now, because you gotta bear in mind, like, even though they've been trying to, you know, get this version out, they believe this version's great, and there is a lot of great things about this version, but everyone's always focused about the negative, you know, the negative points. So what I would say the biggest improvements they could make is, first of all, change the menu screen. Why, you know, everyone knows the menu screen from the Pocket Edition, everyone's played the Pocket Edition. Don't like make it so clear that you're giving us the Pocket Edition. Make the menu something new that works on all devices. Like, again, like the way the old console version works, I can see it right here. It's just 5 bars. That's easy. You just have to make it like look like that, or just make a brand new screen entirely. Give Minecraft a new menu screen. It makes sense. It matched the other versions, and the current one is just a little bit silly. Like, it gives the store this little tab. It gives it this little new thing. Just make it look like something else, and then people won't think every time they load up like, oh, I'm playing the Pocket Edition on my phone. So that's the easiest thing I'd say. Make a new menu for all the devices, and then, you know, that would be the new Minecraft menu, and people wouldn't think of it as the PE menu or the Windows 10 menu. They'd think of it as the Minecraft menu. Boom, easy solution. That's like literally, that could be done in an afternoon. It's just a menu redesign. So the second thing I do after, you know, you fix the menus and you make the game like seem like it's a new Minecraft as opposed to, oh yeah, that phone Minecraft but on console, the second thing I do is I would add some brand new, you know, like features that we're still missing. Like, add 3D items. It's an easy thing to do. I'd make the controls match, because I feel like the console controls, like about 90% of them were like thought about smartly, and they have been adding them slowly. I'd have just done that from scratch. I'd have played the old Xbox version and then taken that new stuff aboard, and if you'd have done both those things, I feel like, you know, just those 2 simple changes, then anyone who went from the old version to the new version would have immediately felt like, oh yeah, this is a cool upgrade to the game, as opposed to like, oh, why does everything feel so strange and it looks like a phone version? That's the big issue I feel like people run into. So if I could just make like one big improvement from the outside though, and I was just like, you know, I can request one thing and they have to make it, it would probably be mini games, honestly. Like, that's so much included in there. Like, you know, I really like playing Battle, and it's a shame that there's no like even a close to equivalent connection in the new version. And yeah, I feel like some form of mini game based thing, but on like servers should theoretically be doing mini games better, but as you see in the background, like, it lags a bit sometimes, and like, you know, it's a rare time when you get a good working server game, whereas, you know, if they'd have done that like built into the game some way, they could have done it better maybe. I'm not certain, but I feel like that'd be the easy thing I want. That's the biggest improvement I would make personally, and yeah, maybe that's not the answer you're looking for, but that's the answer you get, Agent Spookstorm. But let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Dr. Mature, who says, why do some Toycat streams not appear as videos afterwards? You streamed last night, the 23rd, but no video today. So I did in fact stream on the 23rd, which is not last night anymore, but it was when I picked up this comment. But the reason behind that is because there are 2 streams a week I always make into videos. Every Tuesday and every Thursday I live stream. On Tuesday it's usually a different game. On Thursday it's usually Minecraft, and those turn into videos like pretty much 100% of the time. However, on the other days, so I stream a lot more during the week now, just kind of for fun. Like, I've been playing a lot of Fortnite, I stream that too. And when it comes to these streams that were like would be the 3rd video of the day, I sometimes have to balance out like, would people want to watch this as a video? And in a lot of people's case, like, the answer is no. And you know, I feel I want to have like some way for you to watch them if you're not that way. Maybe I'll put them on Twitter or something like that. But the problem with posting them onto YouTube is if I make the stream video public, a lot of people either don't click it because they don't want to see an hour-long video, or they do click it and they watch only a tiny bit, and it really hurts the rest of the channel when you do that. Like, you know, there's a reason like YouTubers always upload stuff that gets views as opposed to like having like half stuff that people want to watch and people don't. Because if you upload stuff that people don't want to watch, it means the stuff that they do want to watch is less likely to be shown to them. And it's ridiculous that that's the way the YouTube works, but I have to kind of balance that. Like, do people want to watch YouTube streams? According to my you know, video things, only about, you know, a few thousand people do, which is a lot, and I want to be able to get the video to them. But out of the, you know, normal, like, you know, how many tens of thousands it is that watch the normal videos, you gotta kind of balance those 2 things together. So that is why streams don't always turn into videos, but they're always going to be turned into a video. It's just you can't normally find it. If you want to find the video, I'd say the easiest thing to do is to check Twitter, because it will always be linked there in some way. So if you want to watch me playing Fortnite, which I've been doing pretty much every day, that's the best way to do it. And I know that's slightly inconvenient, but it's the best balance I find between the two systems. So let's move into the next question, which comes in from KillerShark25, who says, how do you think of so many new topics to make a video on every day? And I think the answer to that question simply, according to 5% of my comments, is Toycat never has any ideas. This is all the same idea every day. But yeah, no, this is actually the biggest both compliment and criticism at the same time, which is shocking. So a lot of people say oh, Toycat, it's impressive how you're always doing something new every day. And the other, there's a different amount of people who say, Toycat, you have ran out of ideas. There is 0 ideas left. And that doesn't make any sense to me, because if I had no ideas, I wouldn't be making videos. So they're saying they don't like what I do every day. And that's the big problem actually with the channel. I'm always doing something new. The way I come up with it, because that's the direct answer to your question, is when I'm playing Minecraft, just something comes in my head. I'm like, what about that? Or sometimes I'm thinking about something and I'm like, why is that? And I'll think about it a lot and I'll be like, I can make a video on that. I'd be curious, I'm sure a lot of people would be curious, how Microsoft could have improved Minecraft. That question I answered earlier, what if I made a whole video from that and I explained the guide to what Microsoft did wrong and how they could have done better? I think a lot of people might enjoy that, and I'm like, well, actually, yeah, I could do this, that. I write down a bunch of notes and then maybe I make a video from it later. If you're curious as to what's on the idea board right now, some of these videos will have been made by that time. There's basically, I read a comment once that was like, oh yeah, Toycat, did you know the biome scale affects the nether? I'd love to test that and to see how crazy it can go. For instance, I've got a thing about how Minecraft coins are really just a bad idea. I'd love to make a video complaining about that and seeing what I could do. Complaining sounds bad, but make a video actually explaining why it's bad rather than just saying I don't like coins. There's a whole bunch of videos I'm just coming up with all the time, because as I play Minecraft, this stuff comes up. I've been playing a lot of PvP. You can see in the background I'm playing survival games. I've been playing a lot of PvP. I wonder what would be the best tips I could give someone to help them improve. I have these sorts of thoughts, and then I consider making a video from them. So that's how I come up with video ideas. KillerShark25. I hope that helped you. And yeah, let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Alex, who says, what is the best way to get add-ons on new Bedrock version Xbox, or download maps, because it's really easy on phones and Windows 10. And yeah, I feel like it's almost deliberately hard on the Xbox, or not deliberately, but that's why it's the biggest benefit of having the Minecraft store there, because you kind of have to buy maps if you want to get it easy. However, it is possible if you have a Windows 10 PC, you can either download it onto a thumb drive, then put the thumb drive in your Xbox, or a way a lot of people do it, and I find this is useful, have a friend who's on Windows 10 who has the mods or has the map, or if you don't like talking to people like myself, then what you have to do is you just have to go on your own Windows 10 PC, and then you should be able to host it to yourself, maybe using a different account, but it is going to be possible that way. That's the easiest way, and it's not perfectly easy, but it is something you can do, and yeah, it's not as easy as the Windows 10 and PC, the PE, because of the fact that the Xbox isn't an open platform. You can't download stuff right from the browser on there, which does make things a little bit trickier. So let's move on to the 8th question, which comes in from Juan Ponce Mane, so that's a Spanish name I believe, who says, can you explain how Minecon 2017 will work again? Thank you in advance for answering this question. So first of all, I think it's rude to thank me in advance for answering your question. I'm not going to answer, well, I am actually answering your question. So you're welcome, Juan Ponce Man, but can I explain how Minecon 2017 will work? Yeah, I'd love to, because I feel like it's confusing for most people. This isn't going to be a physical Minecon like every other Minecon before it. There isn't going to be physical Minecon capes or goodies or stuff to get, because instead it's going to be a digital show. This is because they always sold, there was always too much demand for Minecon tickets, so they figured let's stop doing this, and instead they're live streaming the show so everyone can watch it at the same time. Admittedly, you could always watch the previous Minecons as a live stream, but this one is a dedicated, I think it's 2-hour show. It's happening at some point very soon, actually. I have it on my calendar. I think it's the end of next month. I'll check the calendar right now. It's the end of next month. You can watch this Minecon show. It's November 18th, as it turns out. Yeah, at 4:30 p.m. That's what it says on my calendar. You can watch Minecon then. So that's 4:30 p.m. UK time, and you can watch the event then. You can either do it by yourself, or you can go to Minecraft parties where you can watch it with other people. I'd watch out before going to any of those, but you can go to, watch it with other people, or you can just invite people around. But there's going to be a big Minecraft show, basically. It's going to last 90 minutes. It's going to be interesting, and during that show, they're going to be revealing new features for Minecraft. This is where they're going to be revealing whatever the next update will be for Minecraft, just Minecraft, presumably. They're going to be revealing some Minecraft Java stuff. Jeb will be revealing the next boss mob, the big spooky three-headed chicken thing, and that is what Minecon 2017 will be about. It's going to be a 90-minute show where we get all the Minecraft news in the world. So yeah, I'll be uploading it on this channel if you want to watch it afterwards, assuming I'm allowed to. But assuming that does work, then yes, I will be uploading it on my channel. I'll be uploading the important bits of the news, and yeah, basically Minecon 2017 is going to be a 90-minute show as opposed to a 2-day event, and they're going to try and pack as much as they can in that space. And also, if you're in the London area, I think there's a PvP tournament going on. That's what they said. I don't know if it's true, and that means you might be able to see me. If you hear anything about a London PvP Minecraft tournament, tournament, you're probably going to see me at that event doing some form of like saying hello. So yeah, there you go. That's how you meet me at Minecon. You can't because it's a digital event, but there'll be a physical part of the digital event in London, which is confusing, but that's just how the world is. So let's move on to the 9th question, which comes in from Giovanni Cara, who says hashtag QnA, console or PC. And simple answer to this question is I play console. And the reason I play console is because even having a PC now, which is like several leagues above my Xbox, maybe an order of magnitude better than my Xbox, you know, playing games, I always find even on like, so if you play PUBG, for instance, have you noticed how that game is like, even with the best systems playing at medium graphics, it still just like drops frames like absolute nuts, and it's really uncomfortable. Like the worst experience in games, in my opinion, and really the worst experience of anything, is when you're doing something and it suddenly stops for a second and then you go back into it because you're like, whoa, what was I just doing there? Imagine if in real life, like every like once an hour, you just froze for, you know, 2.5 seconds and then you went back to what you're doing. That would be terrifying. Imagine if you're running and you freeze, and yeah, basically my point being is it sucks and then the world moves forwards without you, and you know, that would be like a serious like mental illness if you had that in real life. So yeah, I really don't like that games do that pretty much consistently on the PC. Like there's a few games which are really built for PC and I play them there. So I play maybe 25% of my games on PC, but otherwise I try to play games on console because the console version, it's usually optimized for the exact hardware and it usually works without too much question. So yeah, that's why I you know, that's why even though I play PC games, even though I'm excited about PC and I do most of the stuff, that's why I'm really excited about the Xbox One X, and that's why I will be doing some Xbox One X videos on this channel, because that gets me excited, because it's the theory of 4K gaming without any of the stuttering or this or that. And I know you can disagree, you can say, Toycat, that's just your experience, but it is my experience. I find consoles are more reliable than PCs, and they're of course several steps above the phone. So that's the answer to that question, Giovanni Chiara. Let's move on to the final though, which comes in from Wells Carroll, who says, what is the meaning of life? And this is like the big question, right? Like I figured I'd throw it in here. Maybe it's sarcastic, maybe it's not, but like the answer to what is the meaning of life is one of these like big questions everyone's always trying to work out, but you never really know it. Like, you know, the first thing you're gonna be okay with is like, okay, at some point I'll die. Then the second thing you're gonna be okay with is like, well, what is the point of all of this then? And I think the answer to that is really dependent on what you care about. Like, you know, there is no like, some people tell you like you have to do this and you have to do that just to please them because that's what they like to do. But the truth is you can be and do anything you want. You can believe in like anything you like, and you can set out to do anything you want in the world. Again, there's no like hard requirements that if you don't do this by the time you're 70, then you're kind of over with. It really is just about like, what do you want to do over the entire period of life, and how do you minimize like the suffering of yourself or of others or whatever else. You know, it's all about these like vague general goals, and that's why like the meaning of life isn't a simple thing. It's like, well, it depends on what you care about, and it depends on this and that, and that's why I think it really just comes down to like, how do you make you know, some people say like you have to make the world a better place, and you know, maybe that's something that everyone has to do at some point to feel good, but it really does just come down to like, as humans, we're hardwired to enjoy certain things. You can try and enjoy as many of those as you can, while, you know, maybe suffering in the short term to have more of those in the future. And I think the best way to picture it is like, you know what, when you die, what would you, you know, let's say there's like an end credit screen where it's like, wow, you did good, Toycat, here is your results, like you did this, here's an instant replay, you know, kind of like in that Rick and Morty game where, you know, you play as a plumber or whatever. You know, imagine like, you know, your game is your life is a game. What would make you feel the happiest when you're done? Would you feel happier if you kissed that girl now or whatever? Then you probably would. Wouldn't that feel cool to read in your summary when you're 80? I think it would. And yeah, treat life like it's a video game and you'll probably be happier. Boom, life advice with Toycat. So this is one of the longest Q&As I've ever done, so I should probably wrap that up there. Some Toycat knowledge for you at the end, or Toycat philosophy. Maybe it means nothing, maybe it means something. Whichever it is, I hope you will enjoy the Q&A regardless. Like if you did like it, because it helps out the channel. Let us know you do like this sort of video, share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're around here with notifications turned on so you can see these videos every single time I do upload them. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I got 10 kills in this background gameplay, so pretty good, right? And I guess I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.